These lessons could change your future. Just one small click. Subscribe and grow with us.
Imagine living every moment of your life in the present, without being haunted by the past or worrying about the future. In such a state, we cultivate a heightened awareness of our surroundings and emotions. This heightened awareness can often lead to a deeper connection with oneself and the world around us. The past loses its power to dictate actions, and the future ceases to worry us. This enables us to engage more authentically and intentionally with the present. By embracing this perspective, we can potentially enhance our overall well-being. We are able to savor the small joys that might otherwise go unnoticed and find solace in the beauty of the moment. Embracing this lifestyle and perspective towards living is what Eckhart Tolle has attempted to impart with his book, The Power of Now. This spiritual guide introduces you to the concept of living in the now. It also provides practical tools to achieve a state of inner peace and enlightenment. This summary will try to highlight the significance of living in the present moment and moving on from the constraints of past regrets and future anxieties. Tolle's ideas throughout the book emphasize the power of disconnecting from incessant thought patterns to achieve inner peace and heightened awareness. In this summary, you will learn how embracing the present moment can liberate one from mental turmoil, allowing a profound connection with life's essence and a deeper sense of fulfillment. The book states that living in the now is the most authentic path to happiness and enlightenment. Eckhart awakens us to our role as creators of pain. He also shows how to have a pain-free identity by living fully in the present. If you surrender to the present moment, your problems will no longer exist. The present is where you will find joy, embrace your true self, and discover you are already complete and perfect. You are listening to a review of the book, The Power of Now, written by the spiritual teacher and author Eckhart Tolle. This book was released in the year 1997 and was published by Namaste Publishing. In the book, The Power of Now, author Eckhart Tolle explores the importance of presence of mind and spirituality to help you understand what being in the present actually means. He also talks about how thinking and non-acceptance drive a lot of human pain and how to live a life that ends suffering. Tolle starts the book by sharing his circumstances that led to his enlightenment. Like many others, he had suffered from anxiety and even suicidal depression for many years. Then, when he was 29 years old, he had a personal epiphany, which changed the course of his life. The book creates a path with clearly explained actionable strategies to attain this state of enlightenment. Even though Tolle had a moment of epiphany that released him from his sorrow and pain, he only fully understood his transformation years later, and this book acts as a spiritual self-help guide to capture what he has discovered through his experience and years of spiritual study. The book is a revelation for many of us who are bogged down by our suffering and pain and are unable to understand the way our mind and body works and how to cope with the world. Every idea in the book is explained with simple examples and hypothetical situations, which helps us see the truth and the impact of Tolle's teachings. Tolle explains some of the basic ways our body and mind works, how pain is created by the mind, how it lives in the body, and how, in order to overcome it, we must dissolve this pain body. He talks about a state of complete freedom from the continuous stream of thoughts that occupy our mind, often preventing us from a true experience of ourselves and the world. These teachings about enlightenment are shared with us in simple ways, with many examples from different religious and spiritual practices, making it easier to understand the truth. Now, let us look at some of the key concepts that Tolle has explored in this book. The first concept is the idea of enlightenment. In the first section of the book, Eckhart Tolle gives a simple parable as an example of some of the major themes of the book, including his role as a teacher, the idea of enlightenment, and the power of living in the present. A beggar had been sitting by the side of a road for over 30 years. One day, a stranger walks by. The beggar asks him for money, mechanically holding out his old hat. The stranger says that he has nothing to give him. Then the stranger asks him, "What's that you are sitting on?" "Nothing," replies the beggar. "Just an old box. I've been sitting on it for as long as I can remember." "Ever looked inside?" asks the stranger. "No," says the beggar. "What's the point? There's nothing there." "Have a look inside," insists the stranger. The beggar manages to open the box. With astonishment, disbelief, and elation, he sees that the box is filled with gold. Tolle talks about a beautiful state of being that he calls enlightenment. This is a natural state of joy and peace, a state of connectedness with a supreme energy that is found inside you. This book is a way of telling us to look inside. This state of enlightenment and of learning to control the mind can be achieved through a constant emphasis on the present moment. Tolle describes enlightenment as the realization of one's true nature beyond the confines of the mind. He emphasizes that the incessant chatter of the mind, driven by past regrets and future worries, obscures the deeper sense of our being. By quieting the mind and cultivating a deep awareness of the present, individuals can tap into a state of heightened consciousness. Tolle says that enlightenment is not something to be achieved in the future, but rather a profound shift that can occur in the present moment. It involves recognizing the interconnected nature of our lives and experiencing a sense of unity with the universe. This state of being is characterized by inner peace, acceptance of what is, and the transcendence of suffering. While exploring this theme, Tolle asks us to disidentify from the ego and its attachment to material possessions, external circumstances, and the need for constant validation. Through practices like meditation and mindfulness, we can free ourselves from the grip of the mind and experience the clarity of enlightenment. Next, Tolle talks about the importance of living in the present. One of the central ideas that Tolle proposes in the book is a complete and utter surrender to the idea of now. He argues that the mind and the body have to understand that time is a human construct and everything is dependent on a complete focus on the present moment. The now is outside of the notion of time, of the past, and of the future. Only if we focus our energies on this will a higher order of being open up for us. We often get stuck with regret or anxiety because we are thinking about pain from the past or we are worried about the future. These are both things that we have no control over. Tolle says that the only important time is the one we think about the least, the present. The reason only the present matters is that everything happens here. Everything you feel and sense takes place in the present. When you think about it, the past is nothing more than all present moments that have gone by. And the future is just the collection of present moments waiting to arrive. Things only happen in a continuous stream of present moments. Our feelings can only give information about the now, about this specific moment. Tolle explains this philosophy through various examples. He explains how all major religions talk about the value of the now from ancient times. In the Christian tradition, he quotes lines from the Gospel, which translates to, "Don't think about the future, because the future will take care of itself." In the Japanese Zen tradition, he gives the example of a great Zen master called Rinzai, who would constantly ask his students the same question: what at this moment is lacking? The now is also central to the teaching of Sufism, the mystical branch of Islam. Sufis have a saying: the Sufi is the son of time present. And Rumi, the great poet and teacher of Sufism, declares, "Past and future veil God from our sight. Burn up both of them with fire." Dwelling on past pains and future worries does nothing good for you. If you deal with them in the now, instead you will only be dealing with minor challenges that arise in the present moment. There are many ways to break up huge challenges into smaller parts by focusing on what we can do about them in the now. The next concept is recognize obstacles that stop you from exercising the now. The book explains that as humans, our minds and society constantly find newer ways to distract us from our present moment. We are constantly avoiding what is right in front of us, and because of this, we suffer. It is our minds that create most of these illusions that we are constantly caught in and cause more pain than ease, more suffering than joy. If we are doing anything without a sense of joy, ease, and lightness, then we are not living in the present. Not living in the present can occur in many forms. Tolle gives various examples so that it becomes easy for us to recognize. In one of his books, the psychologist Carl Jung relates a conversation he had with a Native American chief. The chief relates to him something that he observed about white people. They are always seeking something. What are they seeking? The whites always want something. They are always uneasy and restless. We don't know what they want. We think they are mad. Jung sees this as an extremely perceptive comment about how white people were constantly distracted, how they were anxious all the time and not at peace with their present environment, and hence used cruelty to seize from others what they saw in themselves as a lack. The early whites, who the native Indians came across, represent a persistent and distracting anxiety that characterizes many of our lives. This is the manifestation of the inability to come to terms with our present moment. See if you catch yourself complaining in either speech or thought about a situation you find yourself in. What other people do or say, your surroundings, your life situation, even the weather. To complain is always non-acceptance of what is. Complaining about a situation is actually an inability to accept the present moment. When you criticize, condemn, or complain, you aren't accepting reality. Instead, you are rejecting reality in favor of your expectations or thoughts about what reality should be. And in doing so, you will end up less happy than if you accepted the situation you are facing and figured out a productive path forward. The other important concept is break down your emotional barriers. Tolle says that our mind turns most things into a problem. There are no real problems. If you're living in the present moment, you would be so consumed by it that the question of worrying about a problem would fade away. For instance, if you have ever been in a life or death emergency situation, you will know that it wasn't a problem. The mind didn't have time to fool around and make it into a problem. In a true emergency, the mind stops. You become totally present in the now, and something infinitely more powerful takes over. This is why there are many reports of ordinary people suddenly becoming capable of incredibly courageous deeds. In any emergency, either you survive or you don't. Either way, it is not a problem. It is simply a happening that we are part of. Toll acknowledges that emotional obstacles such as fear, anxiety, anger, and sadness are inevitable aspects of human experience. He emphasizes that the key to dealing with obstacles lies in how we relate to them. Rather than resisting or suppressing emotions, we should fully acknowledge and accept them without judgment. This process of non-resistance and acceptance allows emotions to flow through us, preventing them from becoming entrenched and causing unnecessary suffering. Toll also introduces the concept of the pain body, which refers to the emotional pain that we have accumulated from past experiences that can become activated and influence our present reactions. He says that by staying present and observing the pain body without identifying with it, we can diminish its hold on our thoughts and behavior. By cultivating present moment awareness, we can break free from the cycle of emotional torment and gain a deeper understanding on how to lead a fulfilling life. That was a glimpse into a handful of themes that have been covered in The Power of Now. To read about them in more depth, pick up a copy soon. Now, let us look at some key takeaways that we can find in this extraordinary book. The first takeaway is observe your relationship with your mind. When you seek to detach yourself from your mind, you must be fully conscious of your mind's power. This consciousness should allow you to highlight the subtle ways your mind causes you pain. This pain could be through behavior or thoughts. Simply observing your relationship with your mind will create a gap in the flow of your thinking. For example, suppose you ask yourself what your next thought will be. There will likely be a delay before your next clear thought arrives. Consistently using questions like this will help you become more conscious of how you become so used to your mind's flow. Alternatively, breaking up your thoughts will help you isolate your mind and separate yourself from it. Try to accept these thoughts as they arise. The next takeaway is separating our mind and body. Your mind is the primary origin of pain. So if you allow your ego to take over, you will endure considerably more pain. Your mind is associated with pain because it frequently brings up memories. Focusing on your memories often leads to worries about the past and more significant anxiety about the future. Generally, our mind fixates on negative memories. This prevents us from living in the present. We have no control over memories, which compounds the pain associated with them. We only have control over the present. Separate yourself from your mind because it causes you pain. Focus on your body. It understands what is best for you. As a result, you can learn a lot about the critical factors within your life by focusing on your body. One of the last key takeaways from this book is transcending the pain body concept. Toll describes the pain body as an energy field found within the human psyche. It is composed of negative emotions such as fear, anger, resentment, sadness, and guilt that we have experienced in the course of our lives, but are not fully processed or released. The pain body operates on an unconscious level, often triggering reactive patterns and perpetuating cycles of suffering. The pain body can be triggered by various external stimuli or situations that have a connection with our past emotional wounds. For example, a seemingly innocuous comment or situation can suddenly activate the pain body, causing intense emotional reactions. When we identify with the pain body, we become trapped in its emotional turmoil. This identification leads to further suffering as we replay old emotional patterns, react with negativity, and project our pain onto others. The key to dealing with the pain body lies in the conscious awareness and in embracing it. Toll asks us to observe the pain body without judgment so that we can create a gap between the triggering event and our emotional reaction. This allows us to disengage from its grip and prevent the cycle of suffering from perpetuating. By choosing to be present and embracing acceptance, we can diminish its influence and reclaim our inner peace. To know more about the key takeaways in depth, go and pick up a copy soon. Now, let us look at some of the best quotes that you will come across in this book. The first quote is, "Time isn't precious at all because it is an illusion. What you perceive as precious is not time, but the one point that is out of time, the now, that is precious indeed. The more you are focused on time, past and future, the more you will miss the now, the most precious thing there is." The next quote is, "Any action is often better than no action, especially if you have been stuck in an unhappy situation for a long time. If it is a mistake, at least you learn something, in which case it's no longer a mistake. If you remain stuck, you learn nothing." And my favorite quote is this, "Focus your attention on the feeling inside you. Know that it is the pain body. Accept that it is there. Don't think about it. Don't let the feeling turn into thinking. Don't judge or analyze. Don't make an identity for yourself out of it. Stay present and continue to be the observer of what is happening inside you. Become aware not only of the emotional pain, but also of the one who observes, the silent watcher. This is the power of the now, the power of your own conscious presence. Then see what happens." Eckhart Tolle is a spiritual leader and author. In 2008, the New York Times described Tolle as the most popular spiritual author in the United States. The Watkins Review claimed in 2011 that he was the most spiritually influential person in the world. Although not identified with a particular religion, Tolle claims to be influenced by multiple religions and spiritual works. At 29, a profound spiritual awakening transformed his life. Now, he's on a mission to help others find inner peace and enlightenment too. Tolle is the author of several best-selling books, including A New Earth, Awakening to Your Life's Purpose, and Stillness Speaks. His wisdom has reached people in over 50 languages, and he's graced countless TV and radio shows. His work continues to have a profound impact on the realms of spirituality and personal growth. Now, let me read out some highly positive reviews the book has received, which may just persuade you to seek it out. The first review says, "My life has two stages, before Eckhart Tolle and after Eckhart Tolle. I've been struggling for decades. I knew what the issues were, but was unable to come out of it. It was misery, losing all hopes in my life. I decided to see a psychologist, but even after several therapy sessions, I did not see myself becoming better. It was at that point of time, my friend asked me to grab a copy of The Power of Now. I decided to buy the book. That was the last hope in my life. It changed everything. I have never looked back after reading this. I'm content now. I'm happy with what I am, where I stand, and of my present. Thank you, Eckhart Tolle. The next review says, there's a point in our lives when we say enough is enough. This is what this book is about. In one of his greatest works, Eckhart Tolle teaches us the real meaning of spirituality. He teaches us the importance of the present moment. Through the recognition of the ego, he makes us aware of how it destroys our lives. I would recommend this to anyone who's looking for the real meaning of their lives and to anyone who is sick and tired of the usual thing. I'm still starting to feel its benefits at this time. I started accepting what is rather than identifying myself with the ego. So, if you had enough of the madness of this world, I definitely recommend this book. Now, here is my favorite review. This book is an excellent guide to shutting off your brain noise. We let our brains run us mad most of the time and never really stop to enjoy the space we are in, always dwelling over the past or fretting about the future. This book points out that the future is 100% unpredictable. So stop making up stories about what is going to happen when you have absolutely no idea. It also asks us to stop worrying about the past because no amount of energy devoted to the past will change it. Instead, be in the now. Be present. Enjoy what you have right in front of you. Experience it because in 1 second, it is gone and you will never have the chance to enjoy it again. The Power of Now serves as an inspiration for anyone seeking a profound shift in their perception of reality and a deeper connection to their beings. Eckhart Tolle's insights illuminate the path to inner freedom by urging readers to disengage from the ceaseless chatter of the mind, embrace the present moment, and release the burdens of past and future. The book's teachings extend beyond philosophical concepts, offering us practical techniques to break free from the shackles of emotional pain. By recognizing the transformative potential of presence and mindfulness, we can navigate life's challenges with clarity and find solace in the midst of turmoil and discover a sense of peace. Surrender to the present moment, and you will see your problems no longer exist. The present is where you will find joy. Embrace your true self and discover you're already complete and perfect.
You're watching, learning, feeling. Will you stay with us? Just one click to subscribe means everything.
If your journey feels stuck, you're not alone. We've got you. If you found value in this video, don't forget to hit that like button. It helps more curious minds discover this content. Subscribe to Being and Beyond and join a growing community that thrives on knowledge, perspective, and personal growth. And if this video resonated with you, share it with someone who needs to hear it today. Your support fuels our passion and pushes us to create better content. Welcome to Being and Beyond.